Lately, I've been a bit obsessed in finding the best way to improve my drawings. I've been feeling a little bit stuck lately, maybe you feel the same way, and after researching my favorite teachers and artists, I suddenly had too many exercises to choose from. So I synthesized them into one small 3-step exercise that made a world of difference to me. And now I hope that it will do the same for you. I'm Javi, I've been a professional illustrator for the past 15 years, and in this video I want to teach you the 3-page practice. This method will not only help you with your drawing skills, but it will also help you find what your art is lacking while developing your own style. So grab a sketchbook, grab a ball pen, yes, a ball pen, because one of the things that you need to learn if you want to improve is that you need to accept the mistakes you make. So no mistakes, ball pen, screwing up, and moving on. This is a sketchbook after all, not the Guggenheim. You are allowed to fail. And I know I may sound a little bit stern right now, but don't worry, because this exercise is meant to be as frictionless as possible. So you're going to choose an object that you want to draw. I have a little biggie here, and listen. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or if you're a pro, don't choose a face, don't choose the human body. Even if you're a professional, I recommend that you do this with a very simple objects. You'll see why in a minute. So this 3-page practice goes like this. The first page is volume, the second page is shapes, and the third one, well, I don't have a name for it yet. Maybe you can help me in the comments when we get there. Now, this is what you're going to do in the first page. It is one of the fundamentals of art, and if you ask me, the most important fundamental of art. Because if you don't know how to break down an object in volumes, not only will everything you draw always look flat, but if you try to draw it in perspective, it will look pretty wonky. You need to understand the 3D shapes that conform an object and how they interact with each other. So this part of the exercise is splitting the object that you chose in volumes that you can understand. Spheres, cones, cubes. Draw your object analyzing what type of volume it is made of. If you're having trouble finding something to draw, you could just do what I did and look for something that is made out of simple shapes. Now, when you're drawing this, if you're feeling fancy, you can just draw some cross contours on the shapes so you can show the volume of your object a little bit better. So what you're doing right now is a very simplified version of an exercise professionals do, where they choose an object, draw dozens of boxes in different angles, and draw the objects inside the boxes. This might be way too hard for you right now, so you can just rotate the objects in angles that you feel comfortable so you can practice the volumes. If you want, you can start your sketches by drawing cubes and placing the objects inside. But I don't think that it is really necessary for the exercise. But if you want to know more about drawing objects in perspective, here's a Dr. Draw video on rotating boxes and why it is so important to learn how to do it. And please know that the first drawing that you do on this page will suck. You're studying the shapes, maybe you're just warming up and this is your first drawing of the day. Just give yourself a little room to, warm up. Just don't despair. Think of this like going out for a run. Even if you're practicing for a marathon, you don't run the whole marathon every time you go out. This is just like that. You don't even need to finish every sketch you make. If you're still a little bit scared about opening the sketchbook and drawing, don't worry about it. I have days like that too. I have a video that may help you, but I also have something for you, because there's this course about keeping a daily sketchbook by Mike Lowry on Skillshare that I'd like you to watch. And for that, you can just get a free month on the link in the description, so check it out. Now, understanding volumes might help your objects look accurate, but maybe not interesting. So what can you do to make every object that you draw look appealing? Well, this is the biggest challenge that I personally have, because I can do things in volumes, but accurate doesn't really mean interesting. I was so afraid about this next step that I remember that sometimes I was drawing something that was looking like pretty accurate, but still looked kind of bad. And I was just telling myself, I don't know, I just drew this person that was in this particular pose at this particular moment. It doesn't look interesting, but it is accurate, as if I was taking a bad picture instead of trying to design as seen. And this is what I was afraid of, shape design. I know, don't laugh at me, because The thing is, focusing on shapes meant that I had to leave the accuracy of perspective and volumes and start thinking as a designer. And now that I started doing this exercise, I can't believe that I felt like that for so long. So what is shape design? Well, it is kind of like focusing on studying volumes, but instead of focusing on how they exist in space, shape design focuses on how they exist on the page and how the shapes that you're drawing interact with each other. Let me explain. Every piece of art is composed by a set of shapes. Good works of art have interesting relations between the shapes. This might feel reductive, but this is the basic premise of composition: the interesting arrangement of shapes. Even when paintings have no shapes, they present themselves as a defiance to traditional compositions, an admission that to compose is to think in shapes. So the first part of the exercise was focusing on these three-dimensional shapes, but this part is about figuring out what interesting shapes show up when drawing these volumes and focusing on them. In this part, you detach from being accurate and you start playing. Do you like how an angular part contrasts with a round one? Do you like how some shapes overlap with others? If you were to just draw the silhouette of this object, would it look interesting? Can you tell what you're looking at? What changes would you make to make this look clearer? This part is an exploration, and yes, you still have to use your object as reference. Sometimes one of these explorations might make you want to rotate the object in a certain way and explore not only the shapes of the object, but the shapes that form around the object. The negative space. If you want to know more about shape design, I recommend this Cynics video that I just simply love, and you can find it here or on the description, where you can also leave a like if you want. So now that we studied volume and shape, how do we apply this to our art? Well, this is exactly what we're doing right now, and we are just jumping in the pool. This is the third page, and of course it is my favorite, not only because you will put everything you just learned into practice, but this is the page where you will learn a lot about yourself and the way you draw. This is where change truly happens. Because now you're just going to hide your reference object and draw from your imagination. I know, stop screaming, but you've been drawing for a while now, you'll be fine. In fact, you will be more than fine, because this is the part where you will realize in which parts of your drawing process you will focus on volume and in which ones you will be focusing on shape. And accuracy doesn't really matter. What matters is that you like what you are drawing. Because here you'll find that maybe you just want to draw a part a little bit bigger and another part a little bit shorter and then a part a little bit more angular. You will try different things. Feel the page. Now, take a breath. In fact, just take 5 minutes to just tootle around these objects that you draw. Maybe shape them a little bit, focus on your line weight, make some line a bit thicker in some parts, thinner in some others. You can have a little bit of fun because, well, you've earned it. And when you're done, bring your object back and compare the page not only with the object, but what would you draw before on the other pages. See those differences? See the changes that you made, the decisions that you took, differences that are there, the flourishes that you might have added. Well, this is called a style, your style. And you don't need to look for it because it found you. And if that hasn't happened yet, it's okay, you have time. Here's another thing that I want you to do. Just like you saw things that you changed that you probably liked, there were also things that you changed that you didn't like. Things that you felt that you got wrong. Is it proportion? Write it down. Is it perspective? Write it down too. Is it silhouette? Write it down. Right there on the page. Write everything that you don't like about your art down. Look at the list. This list is what you need to focus on next time. And next time can be right away or it can be tomorrow. I promise that if you do this exercise every day, you will see a lot of progress in a very short amount of time. But before the next time, you might feel like you need to do some studying. And that's good, because you know what? Our imaginations will not take us all the way towards improving with our art. For everything that we don't like about our drawings, there's a gap in our knowledge that will not let us improve in that area. I have a really simple way that you can use to analyze your drawings that is coming in next video. So please click on the subscribe button so you can see more of that. But if you want to know a little bit more about how to be critical with your art and what to do about it, I have made a very short list of videos that you can find down in the description. And these videos have advice about the most common problems that you might find while doing this practice. And if you feel like finding the time to draw is more difficult than drawing itself, well, I also have a video for you, and you can find it right here.